I'd like to talk about holding space and what I mean by that. But before we start talking about holding space, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Ghazala at the Heart and Soul Cafe. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're here for the first time, you're very, very welcome. So holding space and what I mean by that. When we are listening to someone who is possibly in distress or struggling in any way, it might be with their poor mental health, it might be because they're grieving, we need to hold that space. We need to offer them a platform where they can talk and feel heard. Holding space for me means that we are there, present, and we are there 100% present. We're not rolling our eyes or thinking, how long is this going to take? And I have to get to, there, I've got to get there, I've got to do this, do that. It's being present. And it's being honest. If you can't be present at that time, for whatever reason, there's a child waiting at a school gate, waiting to be picked up, then be honest and open and reschedule and say, look, I really, really want to have this conversation. I really do care. But right now, I've got to go and pick up such from school. So can we do this? And arrange another time. I think what you shouldn't be doing is just trying to then tick that box. Holding space means I'm not going to make assumptions about you. I'm not going to judge you because of your beliefs or your different way of life to mine. Holding space means I'm not going to try and fix it for you. Although it's something that we tend to do, isn't it? We tend to go in there and say, oh, maybe you could try this, maybe you could try that, maybe, and that's it, it's all over. Holding space means we're not there to fix it. We're there to be. We're there to allow that person to share what they want to share. And it can be uncomfortable. It means sitting in the silence as well sometimes and not feeling that you need to fill each gap or each pause with something. And most people feel that they need to do that. We don't need to. We can even say and be honest, and say, I just want to sit with what you've told me, before I give any kind of response. And that's okay. That way that person knows that that's what you're doing. Holding space for me means we can paraphrase sometimes. So don't interrupt somebody while they're talking, but when they have finished saying what they're saying, you could paraphrase and say, so what you're saying is so and so, so and so and so and so. And with that, it gives that person a very strong message that you actually are listening, that you have been listening, and you do matter. Yeah. And also, if you've got the story wrong a little bit, that would be where that could be sorted out. Holding space also means that allow that person to, sometimes if you've heard this story before, there might be something that they have said different this time. It might be a date, perhaps, or a day, perhaps, or a time, perhaps, or certain story about the situation might be slightly different, and not to step in and say, oh, but you last time said this, this, this. It's not really important, is it? We don't need to try and catch that person out. We can allow them to have a slightly different experience from what they are remembering or what's coming to their mind at that particular point in time. And those little minute details maybe are minute details, and we don't need to really point them out. It's not important. In the grand scheme of things, it's not important. So we can let some things go. But holding space, the main thing is respecting that that person's experience is real for them, and that goes into empathy. We're not going to live their experience with them. That's not possible. No two people can have the same experience. But what you can do is try to see the world from that person's point of view. Try to think about any kind of experience you might have had in the past that's similar to what they're talking about, which then might raise a similar kind of emotion in you. That way you might make that connection. But holding space is important. I don't think we give it enough importance. Allowing a person to have that experience, to share their experience without you judging, interrupting, making assumptions, trying to fix things. And we can sometimes try and do all of those things. We can just be present, we can just listen. And that is probably what that person needs. Just somebody who is there, present, and listening. Sometimes things are very uncomfortable. It's almost like there's an open wound. But to acknowledge that there's an open wound, to allow that person to cry over that wound, if that's what that person needs, and not ask them to stop crying because it's painful for you, but allow that person to feel and express what they need to feel and express, and just be present and feel honored that that person chose you to share what they are sharing with you, that they chose you. Holding space is really, really important, and it's something that we don't tend to do very much. We tend to jump in. The amount of times we finish someone else's sentence, if they're trying to find a word, if they are elderly and maybe a little bit forgetful, we feel that we need to jump in and fill and end someone's sentence for them. And sometimes you can help someone out and maybe offer a word that they may be looking for, but still allow them that space to sort of finish their own sentences is a thoughtful thing to do. So hold space. It's important when we're listening. If we want to listen to someone effectively, we can hold that space for them to create a space, a safe space, a platform where they can share without feeling that they're going to be judged, or that you're going to fix them somehow, or that you are going to make assumptions for, about them, about their life, or, or any of the above. I think we need to think about that. I think we need to think about holding space for others when we are listening. Thank you. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you found the content of it helpful. Please do like, subscribe, share, comment. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed. It means so much to me. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, look after your hearts and souls. Thank you.